Hey goal-getters! Welcome back to The Mental Perspective. My name is Jenna Weinstein, your mental strength and wellness coach and owner of Ripple Effect Performance. And today, folks, I want to talk about two very important things: motivation and leadership. What do the two have to do with each other? Everything. Everything. How we're motivated depends so heavily on how well we're led by other people. Or, if we are in a leadership position, the level at which people are motivated depends so much on us. And what I've learned in my almost 10 years of experience of working with military, athletes, first responders, and even business professionals is that we can lead in one of two ways. And I want to talk about those two strategies with you today. Let's get after it. So before I start talking about these two different approaches that we can take to leadership, what I want you all to do is drop me a comment down below and mention the most memorable leaders that you've had in your life, but specifically a really impactful leader who was not effective and a really impactful leader who was very effective. And I think that's what we tend to think of when we think of leadership. We tend to remember the extremes. We remember the really effective leaders who had an ingraining impact on us. And we also remember the really crappy leaders who left an ingraining impact on us on what not to do. And I think it's important to explore why those two types of leaders are so memorable for us. So let's talk about the less effective leaders, aka the very crappy leaders that we've had in our lives, because I know I've had some not so great leaders, and I know I've even had moments in my life where I wasn't the best leader, where I was letting people down who I was in charge of or who I was leading. And I realized, especially through observing other people in leadership roles, that one way that we can tend to lead is through a means of compliance. So what I mean when I say compliance is people do what you're asking them or telling them to do because they think they have to. The only reason why you're getting stuff done as a leader if you lead through compliance is because people are probably scared of you. People feel like they have no other alternative but to follow your orders. Either there's a rank structure or some type of hierarchy. And even though things get done, you're probably an effective leader on paper because outcomes are still being met. People are probably miserable. At least I know that was my experience when I had less effective leaders. I was still productive, but not because I was happy, not because I enjoyed the work that I did, but because I knew that if I didn't, there would be serious consequences to pay, either in the form of getting chewed out, getting like negative performance reviews, or just having a really tense relationship with that leader. And that's not what I wanted. So when we tend to lead it through compliance, people don't stay around as long. People tend to leave the organization or they request different positions so that they don't have to work with us. And there is a significant drop in motivation. So again, motivation is all about how energetic and how excited we are to do what we're doing. And if I'm working for someone who just doesn't seem like they have my best interest in heart, who doesn't seem very passionate about what they're doing, how am I gonna be passionate about what I'm doing? So my motivation's gonna tank. And I'm gonna end up hating what I'm doing and wanting out. So let me know in the comments below if the leaders you've had that weren't very effective, if you're seeing some of those patterns of leading through compliance coming from them. And the second form of leadership that I observed in my experience is leadership through commitment. And this is what we should all be striving for, and this is what I always strive for in my leadership style. When we lead by means of commitment, we are conveying the message that we not only care about the people who we work with and the people that work for us, but we are sharing our vision and our goals with them. And we want them bought into the vision just as much as we are. Because when we have that shared vision, now we have a shared motivation. Now we have a shared purpose. And when everybody feels like they have a purpose and a role that they play in achieving that purpose, that outcome goal, motivation goes through the roof. People are just so happy and excited to work with you. And even on the occasion, if you have to ask them to do something that isn't necessarily enjoyable or fun, the fact that they believe in you and the vision that you have and that they know you care about them at the end of the day, they're gonna do whatever you ask them to do because they know that you would do the same thing for them if it came down to it. So think about those great leaders you've had who were really effective, who left a really great impact on you. Did they motivate you through commitment? My money is on yes. So the key piece of advice I can give you all to help you build motivation when you lead people by means of commitment, the one thing I could say to do is be transparent. That is what has helped me become so much more of an effective leader, is being willing to be open and transparent with the people that I work with and the people that I lead. And what I mean by transparency is being open and honest. Like, the decisions that you make, are you explaining how you're coming to those decisions? When you have to make a unilateral decision, are you explaining to your team why? When there's work that needs to be done and it's done, and like the mission or the task comes down like at the very last minute and it needs to get done ASAP, are you able to explain to the team why it's happening at this time and why it needs to be done so quickly? That's transparency. And when you're open and honest with what you think about your team, like how much you appreciate them, and being able to give very open and honest feedback if you need them to be doing more for you, are you able to be transparent about how you're feeling? That's the biggest thing that I've noticed really effective leaders have with the people that they lead. They're open, honest, and super transparent about their intentions and their actions. So if you think that you can up your game in how you lead by being a little bit more transparent, that's my challenge to you all this week. Be a little bit more transparent and see what an impact it has, not only on you, but on the people that you lead. And if you're looking for more strategies and more tips on how you can strengthen your mental game so that you could think better and perform better and be better, join my Facebook community. I'll leave a link in the description below for how you can join my Facebook community and get tips every day, not only on how to perform better physically, but mentally. And remember, folks, I'm here to bring you strategies and techniques that will help you strengthen your mindset, which will lead to achieving more goals, which will lead to being more successful in life. That's what the ripple effect is, folks. So let's start your ripple effect today.